Okay, so good afternoon to all of you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
So today I will take two classes. Okay, I just want to complete the mortality indicators and morbidity indicators. So first I'll complete with the theory, and in the second class I want to start with your practicals. Okay, I will just start it. And did you all purchase a practical notebook? All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
You purchased, okay. And whoever didn't purchase, you please purchase it. Today, whatever notes I give, you can write it down in your rough copy. After that, you copy it in your main copy, okay? In your main exercise that you'll be purchasing. But you have to purchase it as soon as possible. So, in the last class, I think we have discussed about adult mortality rate, maternal mortality rate, then under 5 proportionate mortality rate. So now the next point is disease specific mortality rate. Next point will be disease specific mortality rate. Number age, okay, age number. Disease specific mortality rate. You can put a dash and write down. Mortality rates can be computed. Mortality rates can be computed. COMPUTED. Mortality rates can be computed for specific diseases. For specific diseases, specific SPECIFIC, for specific diseases. Mortality rates can be computed for specific diseases. Full stop. As countries, COUNTRIES, as countries begin to extricate themselves, extricate themselves, as countries begin to extricate themselves from the burden of BURDEN, from the burden of communicable diseases, from the burden of communicable diseases, comma, a number of other OTHR, a number of other indicators such as death from, death from cancer, cancer, comma, cardiovascular diseases, cardiovascular diseases, CARDIO, cardiovascular, VASCULAR, cardiovascular diseases, comma, accidents, 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 cancer, cardiovascular diseases, accidents, diabetes, etc. Diabetes, 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 etc. diabetes, etc. have emerged, E-M-E-R-G-E-D, have emerged, E-M-E-R-G-E-D, emerged as measures of specific disease problems. Emerged as measures, M-E-A-S-U-R-E-S, emerged as measures of specific disease problems. Measures of specific disease problems. Measures of specific disease problems. Okay, so what you have written, disease specific mortality rate. Okay, you already know the meaning of mortality. Mortality means death due to some specific kinds of diseases. Okay, or you can also say the number of death that is caused by specific disease over a long period of time is known as disease specific mortality rate. Okay, a disease that a person suffers from for a longer period of time. Like for example, I have given cancer, then all these are non-communicable. Okay, cancer is a non-communicable disease. Communicable and non-communicable. Okay, communicable means that can be transmitted from one person to the other. Okay, and non-communicable means that cannot be transmitted from one person to another is known as non-communicable. Like for example, if I give you communicable examples will be like cough. Okay, even this coronavirus is a communicable disease. Then HIV, hepatitis B, measles. Okay, all these are coming under communicable disease that can be transmitted from one person to the other is known as communicable. So a number of other indicators are also present, such as the non-communicable disease. Okay, like for example, that you have written cancer, then cardiovascular diseases. In cardiovascular diseases, examples of cardiovascular diseases will be heart disease, okay, any kind of heart attack, heart failures, coronary artery disease, stroke. Okay, all these are examples of cardiovascular diseases. Then death due to accidents, diabetes mellitus. Okay, diabetes. So all these diseases, it is a specified disease. Okay, and it runs for a long period of time. A person suffers from this disease for a longer period of time. For example, if you have cough, one day or the other it will be all right. Okay, but cancer, then all these heart diseases, okay, diabetes, it sometimes remains lifelong. Okay, you have to suffer for a longer period of time. Okay, and if good health checkup is been given, health measures are being taken, then it can also be resorted. But all these kinds of specific diseases stays for a longer period of time. Okay, normal headache, normal fever, okay, malaria, measles, all chicken pox, all these things are curable. Like you don't suffer for a long period of time. At certain period of time, after taking certain medications or after getting admitted to hospital, you are cured with the disease. Okay, but the disease that runs for longer period of time is known as specific diseases. That is why it is known as disease specific mortality rate. Okay, death due to specific kind of diseases is known as disease specific mortality rate. Okay. Number I you write down now. The next point, number I. Number I, you write the next point. It will be case fatality rate. Case, C-A-S-E, case fatality rate. Fatality, F-A-T-A-L-I-T-Y, case fatality rate. Case fatality rate. Put a dash and write down. Case fatality rate case fatality rate measures the risk of measures the risk of measures the risk risk measures the risk of persons dying measures the risk of persons dying measures the risk of persons dying from a certain disease DISEASE from a certain disease within a given time period. Within a given time period. Within a given time period. Full stop. So, what have you written? In case fatality rate, okay. Case fatality rate measures the risk of persons dying from a certain disease within a given time period. Means within certain period of time that disease or the virus remains, because of which people extricate or people die. Okay, like for example, rabies. Okay, rabies virus, Ebola virus. Now even the recent one which we all are suffering from is COVID. Okay, coronavirus. So these are case fatality diseases that remains for a certain period of time, for longer period of time, but many people die because of such diseases, and that is known as case fatality rate. You can write down the examples. Okay, just mention the examples. Write down the examples. Examples, put a dash and write Ebola virus. Write down Ebola virus. EBOLA, Ebola virus. Next you write coronavirus or COVID-19, whatever you like, you can write. Then rabies virus. Okay. Next you write the last point, that is number J. Write down the last one, number J, that is years of potential life lost. Years, YEARS, years of potential, 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 years of potential life, LIFE, life lost, LOST. In bracket, you can write down the short form YPLL in capital letters. YPLL. YPLL. Okay. Years of potential life lost, YPLL. Put a dash and write down. YPLL is based. YPLL is based. BASED is based on the years of life lost. Is based on the years of life lost. Is based on the years of life lost, 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 through premature death. Through premature death, premature, PREMATURE, premature death, DEATH. YPLL is based on the years of life lost through premature death. Full stop. It is defined as one that occurs before the age. It is defined as one that occurs before the age, age, before the age to which a dying person could have expected to survive. Before the age to which a dying person could have expected to survive. Dying person could have expected to survive. SURVIVE, survive. Full stop. Write down an example. Example, you write example. A 30-year-old who dies in a road accident, ROAD accident, ACCIDNT. A 30-year-old who dies in a road accident could have theoretically, theoretically lived to an average life expectancy of 75 years of age, average life expectancy of 75 years of age, comma, 75 years of age, comma, thus, thus, 45 years of life is lost. Thus, 45 years of life is lost, lost. Thus, 45 years of life is lost, lost. So, years of potential life lost, okay, YPLL, what is this? In YPLL itself means premature death. That means a person who dies beforehand. For example, that I have given you, road accident. Accidents are not planned. Okay, some people die because of cancer, heart stroke, heart disease, or because of aging, because of old age. So they know that I am going to die at this point of time. But some deaths are premature, like suicide is also an example. In suicide, the person's age is limited. Why? Because the person has taken his or her own life. So the rest of his life that was there for him or her, it becomes shortened. Okay, because of suicidal activity. Next is your accident, road accident, that I have given you one example. Okay, for example, if a 30-year-old person, okay, the age of the person is 30 years, and because of a car accident or bike accident, the person loses his life. Okay, maybe pura thik thak sa morning he was pura fine. Okay, he had his meal, he had his tea, he took bath, everything, all the morning course he did. He went to his office, and while going on the office, on the way he met with an accident and he lost his life. So that is known as premature death. Okay, so which I have given you is a 30-year-old who dies of road accident. Okay, he dies in a road accident. Maybe, like, we are not sure, so theoretically I've written, theoretically if the person could have lived for 75 years. Okay, 75 years must be his last years that he could have survived. But because of the accident, 45 years of his life was lost. So that is known as YPLL. Okay, that is premature death. So this is all about your mortality indicators that we have discussed. Okay, Prathamar para crude death rate. Then we have discussed expectation of, crude death rate, then age-specific death rate, infant mortality rate, IMR, CMR, MMR we have discussed, okay. Under 5 proportionate mortality rate we have discussed, then adult mortality rate, disease-specific mortality rate, case fatality rate, and the lastly it is the YPLL, that is the years of potential life lost. So these are some of the mortality indicators, okay. Now next, coming to your morbidity. Morbidity, you just write down morbidity number 2. Write down number 2, morbidity. MORBIDITY, morbidity. Mortality and morbidity asle no. So mortality is done. Now you write down number 2, morbidity. MORBIDITY, morbidity. Then you write down morbidity indicators. Write down the morbidity indicators. Morbidity indicators. Write down. To describe health in terms of mortality rate. To describe health in terms of mortality rates. To describe health in terms of mortality rate only is misleading. Mortality rate only is misleading. MISLEADING, only is misleading. Full stop. Morbidity indicators are used to supplement the mortality data. Are used to supplement, SUPPLEMENT, supplement. Morbidity indicators are used to supplement. Let me repeat from the beginning, okay. Morbidity is the second point. You write down the morbidity indicators. Okay, then to describe health in terms of mortality rate only is misleading. Full stop. Then you write morbidity indicators are used to supplement, 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 are used to supplement mortality data, to describe the health status of a population. To describe the health status of a population. Mortality data to describe the health status of a population. Full stop. Paragraph change kara. Change the paragraph and write the following morbidity rates are used. The following morbidity rates are used. The following morbidity rates are used for assessing. ASSESSING, assessing ill health in the community. The following morbidity rates are used for assessing ill health in the community. COMMUNITY, community. Then below you write number A. You write incidence and prevalence. Number A, incidence, 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 and prevalence, PREVALENCE. Incidence and prevalence, PREVALENCE. Number B you write Number B, notification rate. Number B, notification rate. Notification, Notification, notification rate. Notification rate. Number C, attendance rate. Attendance, ATTENDANCE, attendance rate. At the outpatient department, comma, health centers, etc. Attendance rate at outpatient department, comma, health centers, etc. Health centers, etc. Number D, admission, comma, admission, 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 comma, readmission, READMISSION, admission, comma, readmission, and discharge rate. Admission, readmission, and discharge, DISCHARGE, discharge rate. Discharge rate. Number E, duration of stay in the hospital. Duration of stay in the hospital. Duration of stay in the hospital. Number F, spell of sickness. Spell, SPELL, spell of sickness, SICKNESS. Spell of sickness or absence from work or school. Or absence from work or school. Work, W-O-R-K, work or school, SCHOOL. Spell of sickness or absence from work or school. So these are some of the morbidity indicators. Okay, we will not be explaining it one by one, but you just need to know in incidence and prevalence, notification rate, attendance rate of the patient in outpatient patients department, and in the health centers you have to know the attendance rate. Okay, attendance rate of both the people who are working there in the hospital or in health center, and also of the attendants, whoever come to meet the patient, and also the attendance of the patients. Okay, these three things. Then next you have to know about the admission, how many people are getting admitted per day. Then readmission means after you are discharged, maybe because of some problem that has existed, you again come for admitting in the same hospital, then it is known as readmission. And discharge, if you are admitted in a hospital, then obviously one day or the other you will get discharged from the hospital. Okay, it is not a permanent stay. Okay, only you have to stay for some period of time till your sickness is totally fine. You will have to stay in hospital. As soon as the doctor feels that you are all right, you will get a discharge from the hospital. Next is duration of stay in hospital, for how long the patient is staying, maybe 1 day, 2 days, okay, maybe 1 month, 1 year. Some patients, they stay for very long years, okay, 1-2 years they need to stay in the hospital because of their health issues. Okay, whatever problem that they are suffering from, maybe they need longer period of time to be healed. Until unless they are healed, they need to stay in the hospital accordingly. Mostly it happens in government hospital, okay, because in private people cannot stay for long, but in government, like, you can stay quite a long compared to private hospitals, because the costing is also high in private. Next, spell of sickness or absence of work or school. Any kind of sicknesses that persist, or else absence, any kind of, or if you're absent from your workplace or school. So this is all about the morbidity indicators. Okay. So we have completed our mortality and morbidity indicators. In the next class, we will be discussing about environmental and industrial hazards. Okay, so for now, my meeting time is getting over. You join again for the class. I will be taking your PSM practical. Okay, join again after 5 minutes.
Okay, ma'am.